for coming. Always nice to have a crowd like this. Welcome to the very first showing of We Wrote These Plays today. This is a new workshop. Star Stuff is a little workshopping where four playwrights gathered here this morning. They got here at 9 and they wrote plays all day long. Directors came in and developed them with them, and actors came in about 5 and they rehearsed them. So these plays are literally like as new as they get. Like you probably have never seen a play as new as this. That's pretty cool. But yeah, something that we here at Star Stuff have sort of noticed as a sort of whole here in the Lexington theater scene is sort of a lack of meaningful critique when it comes to plays in our scene. I wrote a play last year, and personally, I got a whole lot of like, I really liked it, or I didn't really like that. And like, that's great feedback, but it's not so specific. It lacks specificity, and I started to wonder, why is that? Why does our theater community so averse to sort of like giving critique or like, speaking their mind on things? And I think among other things, the biggest aspect of it is shyness. I think people haven't really done that a lot, especially with live performance. It's definitely a muscle you have to exercise like any other muscle. And so tonight, I hope this is as participatory for you guys, the audience, as it is for our performers, and that you feel welcome and emboldened to share your thoughts, ask questions. Between each piece, I'm going to invite the playwrights and directors of each piece right up here to the chopping block, or the pedestal, or whatever you want to put them on, to sort of answer questions, talk about their process from today, talk about what was going through their minds as they created these things today. And so I want to say no stupid questions, no stupid thoughts. I think a lot of people are like, well, what if my critique isn't clever enough and everyone thinks I'm stupid? You're not stupid. It's cool that you came to a thing at all, and it's even cooler that you participated in the thing. So, but yeah, again, we literally wrote these plays today, so they're not precious. No one's been rubbing this like a stone in their mind, worrying it, or anything like that. They're not precious. They're meant for you to talk about and to hopefully make better. But yeah, without any further ado, our very first play tonight is called Chiseled Away. It was written by J.D. Lovell and directed by KC. So I hope you enjoy.
What if we, and then we, no, this just isn't right. This isn't working. It's fine, we have to push through. I wish you could just fix yourself. And then what if I just can't anymore? Fuck it, it's over. My career's over. I'm not gonna make the debut tomorrow. Might as well save myself the trouble. What?
What do you mean?
This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real.
This is real. This is real.
Why are you talking?
Why are you trying to destroy me?
Can't deal with this right now.
Just put the chisel down.
Don't move another inch.
Look, man, we can work through this. Just put that away and figure something out.
Come on, wake up. Get it together.
Okay, finally we can agree on something. So what's wrong with me?
Nothing.
Nothing? You were just gonna chisel my face off!
I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Dude, it's too late for that. You already did.
Listen, this piece, you have to be displayed tomorrow, and I'm sorry, but you just aren't cutting it.
What the hell, man?
You're the one making my life difficult.
I beg to differ. You're criticizing my very existence. Don't you think that's a little rude?
It needed to be said.
You just said my face looked terrible. Is that even a productive critique? That's just rude.
Maybe it is, but it's honest.
Do people's feelings come at the expense of honesty then?
course not. I don't know.
Then how can you say them to me?
They're not real.
I'm as real as the two hands that made me. Your hands.
Okay, of course you're real, but you're not a person.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
And what could you possibly mean by that?
Well, I'm art, right?
Sculpture. Yes, which means you're not human.
Not on my own, no, but art is an extension of the human that creates it. No.
What exactly is your point?
My point here is that your expectations are ridiculous.
No, they're not. You have to be displayed perfectly, or I won't ever become a respected artist again.
Perfect is not an achievable metric.
Maybe not, but I can damn well try.
Have you not realized the problem yet?
The problem is my sculpture has a mind of its own and is actively delaying my work.
Fine. Keep working. Just in peace.
It's about time. What kind of psychotic break was that? Jamie, you got to fix yourself. Look, you're so close to finishing the sculpture. After that, you can rest, okay? Just keep working. It's all gonna be okay. Ah! Please, I am literally begging you to just work. Can you manage that? Almost there. Damn it! Come on! I know you can do this, so why don't you? This is going to work because I'm going to make it work. Ah, for fuck's sake, fuck it! This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're not cooperating. This is all your fault.
Are you done yet?
Here we go again.
All you do is tear me down again and again, and I haven't done anything.
You're just not beautiful enough. I should have chiseled you away sooner.
Way to ruin someone's self-esteem.
It's not personal. This is my career we're talking about.
I can't fix it. I am not the problem.
Then what is?
I can't answer that for you.
What do you mean? If you're not the problem, then what is?
That's for you to answer.
I don't know. Don't you think I'd fix it if I knew the problem?
That's exactly the issue. Why am I here?
You're here as my comeback piece.
What else?
To be beautiful?
What makes art beautiful?
The way it looks.
Let's try this. Now hold that.
This is stupid.
Give it a minute. Still not working. Okay. What if we tweak the face? Well, yeah. More. Yeah. Okay, cool. Arms up. No. One arm down. No. Okay. And that. And this. Okay, no, that just looks stupid. Could you maybe like fix yourself? Is that an option?
Could you please stop? What are you even doing?
I don't know. Isn't this what you do? You just say it looks off and then chisel away and hope for the best. No real goal in mind.
I always have a goal in mind. You're just posing me aimlessly.
Wouldn't you have finished me by now if that were the case?
Can't you just leave it alone?
I can't help someone who won't help themselves.
Fine.
Fine.
I could do this all day.
I literally do this all day, every day. Can I say something?
You won't shut up, so why not?
They always say artists are their own worst critics.
And?
You didn't let me finish. An artist is the only one who knows why their piece is what it is. It might mean something to other people, but it means the most to the artist because they're the only one who knows the true purpose of their work.
So what do you say?
I'm saying that I understand your need to critique because you can always improve, but you have to appreciate what you've made and acknowledge all the good in it too.
It still isn't good enough.
Who decides that? Can I ask you a very simple question?
What?
What is my purpose?
That is not a simple question.
Okay, maybe not, but it's an important one.
I don't know.
Really? You don't know?
No!
What's the message you want to send? Why did you create me? What am I supposed to tell people when they look at me? Tell me why you made me!
It was to save me!
Keep going.
I just stopped.
What do you mean?
There's all too much. The expectations put on me. There's pressure to keep performing, and I just needed to stop. Just a small break. But I didn't. Slowly, I drew away from everybody. I quit my hobbies. It wasn't always just sculpting for me. I really enjoyed hiking and going out with friends, and I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't handle it. I felt the need to give everything up, just to keep my work up to par. I lost everything holding me together, and I crumbled. I didn't have anything to look forward to. I couldn't keep up, so I let it all go, especially my art, because I felt it had no meaning anymore, just to be beautiful. Exactly.
But art isn't meant to just be beautiful and perfect.
No.
It can be messy and real and uncomfortable.
And that's what I always wanted to depict with my work.
So, what do you want me to be?
I need you to be me. May I?
I'd be delighted.
Thank you all for being here today. This piece was, well, a piece of work. Initially, I was only focused on it being the epitome of beauty, but beauty will never be perfect. Beauty's used as an illusion, disguising all of our imperfections and pretending they aren't real. I've given up in the past from trying to achieve perfection and pushing myself too hard. The expectations I placed on myself weren't realistic or kind. They pushed me to rock bottom. I looked for perfection, and I wouldn't accept anything less. I didn't think I could accept less. But now I see how ridiculous of an expectation that is. A wise friend once told me that art is meant to be honest. So that's what this piece is, honest. And I hope you'll reminisce on this piece after seeing it, but ultimately, this piece is for me. It's my saving grace. It helped me see the reasons to keep going, to find the beauty that's already there, and not force myself to create artificial beauty. Art's not about being good, it's about connection. So whether it matters to you or not is for you to decide.
Awesome. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Sophia. All right, I'm going to welcome director Casey and playwright JD and the whole rest of the alphabet to the But yeah, I'm going to start this off. But yeah, to get us rolling, JD, do you want to just talk a little bit about what was on your mind as you were working on this today?
Yeah, so I mean, when I came in today, I really had no idea what I was doing yet. Went through like several ideas. I was like, oh, I jotted this down. Oh, I jotted this down. I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. But something that really stuck with me is initially I was thinking about like a painter, like getting sucked into like his work, and I was like, I don't know if paint's really the medium that I'm feeling. And I was like, how fun would it be for like a stage picture to be like a sculptor working on their work? And so that's kind of what ultimately led me to this decision to start with a sculptor. And then it just kind of became, what is the purpose of this? Like, what are we talking about? Why is he struggling to get this work out? Like, what's the problem? So ultimately it kind of ended up being a conversation of, you know, what is art? Is it meant to be beautiful? Is it meant to be perfect? What is art meant to be? Like, does it have to be good? Like, are we critiquing ourselves too much, but should we also critique more? So, you know, kind of in tandem with what this whole thing's about. It's a little meta, but like, I think it's fun. But yeah, I feel like that explains at least what was going through my brain well enough. So, yeah. But I guess, yeah, question time.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a stage play, would you pick something other than sculpture? Is there a better art form in your mind that like perfectly represents this?
So like if it were like a radio play, like, just thinking of like a
or anything. If it was a novelization, or if you were talking to someone about this dilemma.
That's a great question. I think just because of my background in doing like theater, like that's just what I've always focused on as a writer. I still generally tend to think like more of the physical, like how does this move? But I do think maybe if it weren't as physical, I probably would have leaned more into the painting sort of thing. So yeah, that's a great question. Any other questions?
I want to say, well, I thought you were going to say when you got up here that this was supposed to be like a Pygmalion story, because it's kind of like, but like inverted, but I like that. I like that idea a lot of an artist creating a piece of art, and instead of falling in love with it, he's like, I hate you so bad. Like, I think that's like a really interesting concept. Yeah.
I think it's really funny you say that, because after I said like what the idea was today, Faith looked at me and was like, oh, so like a Pygmalion story, and I was like, yeah, having no idea what it is. Totally honest.
Well, you
no
absolutely
idea. And then you explained it, and I was like, oh yeah, like I see that. Like I see that that's the inverse of that. But funny enough, a working title for most of the day was Another Pygmalion.
There you go.
So just a fun little tidbit for you guys to know about the history of this production, although it was just a few hours. Oh, but yeah.
I saw a question over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I have questions for both of y'all. When you guys were developing this today, did you have any specific thoughts about the stances that the statue had at the beginning of the play versus the end? Because I noticed like the beginning was a very strong stance with the book or the script in hand. So I wonder if you guys, if you develop this further, could think about like how the statue looks at beforehand, that may like foreground the insecurity of the artist versus like the confidence later. Maybe that could be something to workshop.
I'll let you take that one.
Okay. So something we talked about in our development today is like, in what ways are we as artists like our art, and in what ways are they a reflection of us? And we were talking about this idea of like, why is it so easy to be so mean to ourselves as artists and to critique ourselves, and it's so easy. But once you separate yourself from it and you look at your art like a separate being, like why does it change? Like, for example, like if I went up to you as a fellow artist and I was like, this is shit. Like that's so mean, but why do we do that to ourselves? And so that was a big conversation we had, not only in our development today, but also with our actors of like, we came up with this idea that the statue is really just Jamie. It's more of a mirrored conversation than it is anything else.
Yeah.
So that was something we talked about a lot today. And in their physicality, they went from like being very opposite to mirroring each other at one point to both being a little bit more confident in themselves and the work that the artists have created. Yeah, great question.
And ultimately, Casey had this great idea where it's like the sculpture never actually gets changed throughout the piece because there's nothing wrong with it. That's why we never see the chisel actually touch the piece. So
Yeah. And it's just the idea of like, we create such non-issues with stuff that's already really solid on its own. Yeah, great question.
Kind of two questions. One, seeing it up, do you feel like the artist was too nice or too vicious towards themselves? It's very much different seeing it in person. Let's just think on that second question. Does gender play a role in this? Because watching, seeing a man come out and say to me, presumably, exceedingly presenting female sculpture and saying, "You're not beautiful enough."
Yeah.
That was kind of like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to take that first question? I'll take the second.
My brain just blank.
What was your first
The
question?
first one was seeing it on its feet.
Mhm.
Do you think that, I'm making it more complicated now, do you think that the artist was like too mean or too critical, and like, is that reflected in how you speak to yourself? Like, do you think you're too critical or too soft, and did that reflect on?
I think while I was writing it, I was definitely thinking the artist was a little too critical to begin with. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't really done that much self-reflection on it to be like, is that how I talk to myself? I think we can all definitely be that hard on ourselves, though, at certain points, being like, oh, why can't you just get it together? But like, at the same point, you got to give yourself a little bit of grace, otherwise you're just gonna like not allow yourself to do it because you think it's not good, and then it's just like, well, why even work on it because it's bad? So it's like you have to ultimately push yourself past that point, and like tell yourself that it is okay.
Something we talk about a lot. JD and I worked together for a long time, and it's like, make bad art anyway. Don't just make good art. You have to get to that too. But to follow up on this question, so whenever I did casting today, I was really adamant in the beginning. I was like, I think it needs to be like the sculpture and the artist need to be in the same gender realm, right? That's really what I was thinking, because I was like, do we get into a conversation about like gender politics and sexism and like expectations of women when we make this sculpture a sculpture, right? But I do think it works as a reflection, taking gender out of it as well, of like, we can have a conversation about why do we as artists critique our art so heavily, but also what are just the expectations at large of what art is. And then we do, of course, get into some kind of gender politics, because it's impossible not to whenever we have a male artist calling a female sculpture not good enough. I think also current political climate today makes that a little easier for us to see that when we pursue this art. So I think it can be interpreted a few different ways. Yeah, those are great questions. Yeah.
Yeah, to put words to your statement, born sexy yesterday, just like lobster trope, begonia trope, it's like this alien that is sexy today, how can I judge it to be more sexy?
There's never a level, and I think that also gets into the conversation with like women in art. There's always going to be a standard that is unreachable, and I think that's just for art in general. So, yeah, cool, great questions.
But I do think that you guys did an excellent job about making that born sexy yesterday trope not agreeable, more so confrontational to the subject.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, who's that in the back? Hey, what's up, Zoe?
I think like going off of what they said, I feel like you all did well, like kind of steering away from the born sexy yesterday, because the sculpture was like had an opinion and a viewpoint and like was a like smart person. And I think like to the other question's point about like, do you think the artist was too critical? Like, I think you could go further low key, because then that would also make the sculpture kind of be like harsher in their comebacks. And I think playing with the power dynamics of like, in what point of the play, like who's in power, because of like the power your art can have over you.
That is really interesting. Whenever I was thinking about blocking, there was a part of me that wanted to put the sculpture up on like a literal pedestal. So I think if I had like
we had different resources in our space today, and I had a slightly, like a, you know, a
More
box of some
stable.
kind. Yeah, like I think I would have put the sculpture literally elevated above the artist.
Yeah. I felt it could have been more biting in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with him leading off with, why don't you look good? And then she's like, why'd you
Yeah.
fuck it up? And,
Yeah.
you know, we've all had that moment of ours where you're at the last minute and someone's like, this kind of looks like shit. And you're like, I have been working so hard.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the idea of it almost feels like self-criticism is a villain in this narrative, but it's kind of, it'd be interesting, I think, to draw the line of self-motivation and betterment versus like this idea that pushing yourself to be a better artist is like singularly negative.
Yeah.
I think it could be interesting to try to bring in the dynamic of where does it end and where does it begin.
Yeah.
And then following up on that comment, I saw the mirroring a little bit, but it's still by the closing scene, I was kind of trying to, like I understood what you were saying. I understood like this was a self-portrait, but I think it could be really exciting to really lean into the mirroring aspect, like playing with tone or like volume, you know, like really kind of trying to push and pull in that moment, because it was there, but I think it could go further.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that in both physical movement and also dialogue, you would think?
I think it's like physical movement, dialogue, tone, volume, spatial relationships even.
Yeah.
You could play with like foreground and background. I mean, I think there's just like a lot of area to really push things in that moment beyond, like they were kind of ambiguously similar.
Yeah.
And I think you can push past ambiguously similar.
More contrast
Yeah.
in the two. Yeah.
Or like similarity, but really, like, I don't know.
Like exaggerated.
Like exaggerated movements, kind of shifting dialogue and volume, like a back and a forth. But I almost, it feels like two characters who are kind of similar, but I think you can get it to the same person at different points.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that definitely makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really helpful. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think we've got time for one more thought about Chiseled Away. Yes, back there.
Just an observation, and this falls into the category of user response to vary. Just as far as the overall production, the writing, the actors, the direction, I feel like the moment at the end when the sculptor threw the chisel down, and there was kind of that look of disgruntlement and concern and resignation, that really at that point, I felt like everything at that point and everything that had come before it really kind of got across the point that you had the epilogue. Like you literally could have just stopped right there with the chisel hitting the ground and that sound being the final part of it. Because the points you made in the epilogue are great, like, but I just felt like you
Like
did
it
a
was
really
really
great
done.
job actually mixing that into the whole production. So that falls under the category, I guess, of wanting a little criticism. I guess I would say like you did a really good job, so you need to do the bit again.
Yeah. And I think that's too what's so important is like, I think when we were doing our development today, like even what we're encouraging here in this workshop, right, is we want critique.
Yeah.
We want critique. It's just, we can't beat ourselves out of making art,
Yeah.
you know? So I think that's really helpful. Please, critique is great.
Yeah.
And that is really helpful and that is really powerful to think about. Just, that'd be really helpful.
I mean, after all this is done tonight, if you all have any more to say to me, please bring it on.
Yeah, please send us some emails. Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, up next we've got a play called Elevator Pitch. This is written by Justin. And I think we've got to set up a little bit.
Should go to work first.
Hey, how's it going? Do you think that button really works? I've always wondered about that because it kind of feels like the door closes at the same speed regardless of when you press it.
Huh? Sorry, I'm kind of busy.
The elevator doors close.
See, I just don't really think it closed any faster.
What are you talking about?
The door, you pressed the close door button, but it didn't really seem to help.
I don't know. Sorry, could you not talk to me? I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry.
Is this thing moving?
Doesn't seem like it.
Why isn't anything happening?
Whoa, hey, calm down. You're gonna break it. Ah!
Ah!
Hey, are you alright?
No, I'm not all right. Why did it do that? Elevators aren't supposed to move that fast, and they're definitely not supposed to stop that suddenly.
Yeah, that was super weird. We should probably get out of here.
Oh my god. Are we stuck? I think we're stuck. The doors aren't opening. Why is the door not opening? The door should be opening, right?
Hey, it's fine. Let's take a breath. Let's just...
The buttons aren't working. Nothing's working. I'm so late. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose my job. Why is this happening to me?
Whoa, slow down. You're gonna make it flip out again. Please, stop pressing the buttons. I really just want to keep my lunch in my stomach. Three's a crowd, especially when the third is half-digested tuna melt.
Are you trying to be funny right now?
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I am very serious about not wanting to throw out my lunch, though.
How are you not freaking out right now? This is a fucking nightmare. I mean, we're trapped, and nobody knows we're in here, and I don't have any service, do you?
No,
Okay, so we're trapped and alone, and nobody knows to come, and we have no way of contacting anyone, and good for you that you already ate, but I haven't eaten today, so I'm gonna be the first to start if they don't come looking for us. And even if they do, there's no way my boss is going to believe I got stuck in my apartment's elevator, and that's why I couldn't make it, because he's an insufferable prick and never missed a day of work, and thinks that has to apply to everyone, so either way, my life is over.
dude,
And
you gotta slow down. Breathe a little.
right. Only a little, because we're short on oxygen, and I'm gonna breathe it all, right? Oh god. Oh god. I haven't even thought about that.
No, that's not what I meant.
Of course I die this way. Trapped in a metal box, slowly suffocating in front of a stranger that smells like tuna, while my boss is talking shit about my work ethic. Oh my god, he's probably talking to Ethan! Oh!
Hey! It doesn't work like that. Elevators aren't airtight. We have plenty of air. You're not gonna suffocate. I promise. I'm sorry for yelling. That probably wasn't the right way to handle that. You weren't listening and you were really ramping yourself up.
I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Breathe, girl. Jesus Christ, no, not like that. Slow and deep. Like this. Okay, yeah. Just like that. Now, I know this is scary, but let's try and rationalize, okay? Where are we?
Trapped in an elevator.
Where is the elevator?
In an apartment complex.
Exactly. So people are using the elevator all the time, even through the night.
Yeah, that's true. So they'll probably notice when something's wrong pretty quickly?
I think so. At least soon enough for us to avoid dying in here. I assume we'll only be here for a couple hours at least.
Okay, right, yeah. We won't die. Thank you, that was helpful.
Glad I could help.
I'm sorry I said you smelled like tuna.
Do I?
Yeah. But I shouldn't have pointed it out. That was rude.
I don't really know what to say to that. So, what you doing?
Trying to find a way out.
Chill, we should just relax and wait for help to come.
I have a job to get to. I think I'm getting fired either way, but the sooner I get there, the better my odds are.
Why do you care so much about this job? I don't get the impression that you're really crazy about it.
Don't try to get to know me. I need to focus on finding a way out of here.
Fine, have it your way. So, what do you do for work anyway?
Marketing?
So you do want to talk about it.
No, I don't. Stop talking to me.
Do you even know what you're looking for?
Of course I do. I'm looking for a way out.
And what does that look like?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're just wasting energy, dude. You should really just try and relax.
I'm not wasting energy. Stop talking to me. Aha! A way out.
The hatch. The one that leads to the top of the elevator? What, you're gonna climb all the way up an elevator shaft to escape for some shitty marketing job?
Yes. Shut up.
Do what you gotta do, I guess. At least you're fun to watch.
Maybe you could stop being useless and help me.
I'm not gonna help you fall down the elevator shaft. Please just sit down.
Why are you so calm about this? Don't you have places to be?
Sure, but nowhere I'm risking my life for. Besides, this is kind of fun.
Fun? Do you honestly think this is fun?
Sure, you're being a buzzkill about it, but still. I've always kind of wanted to get trapped in an elevator with someone before.
What? That's so weird. What's wrong with you? Why would anyone want that?
Don't you get tired of living the same life day after day?
I guess so. I don't know. I don't try not to think about it.
Isn't it refreshing? Sure, it was scary at first, and yeah, you're stressed about your job and all, but is this really worse than being in a meeting for some stupid job you hate? Isn't it great to live through something that gets to be a story you tell people later?
Yeah.
Be honest. Tell me there's not a single part of you that's not at least a bit relieved you're not at work right now.
So what do you do?
Alright, sure, just dodge my question. I'm in college, working on getting better at art. I want to be an animator someday.
Is there good money involved?
No, not really. With the way the market is right now, there quite literally might not be any money in it for me.
And why are you wasting your time?
Because I'd rather waste my time trying to do what I want to do instead of wasting it slaving away at some job I hate. At least right now I can live in the idea of a dream, even if it might not ever amount to anything.
what other ways does one need a job? Money, stability, sense of purpose.
You don't sound so sure about that last one.
I am. Marketing is important. Can make or break a business. When I do a good job, I help sell people things that help make them happy.
Jesus, you really believe that?
Of course not. My life is a fucking joke, okay? Is that what you want to hear? I wake up every day just so I can go to work and slave away for a company that doesn't care about me so I can help monsters sell products to people who don't need them by tricking them into thinking they do.
Yeah.
And on the weekend, what do? I devote more time to planning for work. And when I'm not doing that, I just mindlessly scroll on this stupid brick I carry around with me everywhere. I mean, what's the point? Is this really it? I just work and work and work and scroll and work and finally, I go to sleep. Never wake up, and sometimes I just wish I could skip to that part.
Fuck, dude. You gotta quit your job.
Well, I won't have to after today.
Well, why not look for the silver lining in that then? You obviously hate your life. What do you have to lose?
It could be worse.
Literally how?
I could find out.
Find out what? Stop being cryptic.
I could find out that this really is the best it gets for me. What if I'm just destined to live a mediocre life? What if the only thing waiting for me out there is more disappointment? What if...
Ding! The elevator doors open. There is the sound of the ocean and seagulls.
What?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Is that?
The beach?
Okay, sick, so you see it too.
This isn't real, right? This is some kind of prank?
A prank? Oh yeah. Haha, gotcha, idiot. We moved the beach into your apartment. Classic.
Literally, how are you making jokes right now? This is insane.
It's how I cope, okay? What do you want from me? A beach just fallen on the 7th floor of our apartment building. I have to riff at least a little bit. It's beautiful.
It really is.
So, do we get off?
What? Get off? We don't even know where this is. What if it's in a different country?
You think so? Don't you think that's a bit far-fetched?
More far-fetched than a beach on the 7th floor? No, I don't.
Okay, fair.
I think we should wait.
For what? Doors to close again, trapping us here for all eternity?
Please don't say that.
I'm just saying all bets are off now. We're clearly in some bizarro, wacky, paranormal elevator situation. What if this is our one shot?
And what if it's not? What if we keep waiting and it takes us back? What if they fix the elevator?
Fix the elevator? Do you hear yourself right now? Do you think they're gonna fix it and go, oh, thank God you guys stayed put. We were worried you got off in beach land.
I mean, no. Of course not. That would be ridiculous.
Listen, dude, you said it yourself. You hate your life. You probably aren't keeping your job after today. And it doesn't sound like you have any backup plans. What if we just see where this takes us?
Well, what about you? You're in college. You have dreams.
Yeah, dreams that don't mean anything if I get stuck in an elevator purgatory forever. Besides, even if, and that's a big if, even if the elevator just decides to go back to our building, are you really willing to walk away from something like this? Could you go back to living your life knowing you turned down a magic elevator trip to the beach?
I don't know. I'm scared.
I mean, yeah, dude, me too. But just because something is scary doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Hey, what's your name anyway?
Oh, it's Ava.
That's a good name. 3 letters. I'm B, like the pollinator.
Your parents named you B?
What? No, were you kidding me? My parents are not cool like that. Someone I used to know gave me the name and it just kind of sucked.
Well, it's a cool name.
Thanks. I like it. Fuck.
What?
I think the edible just hit.
What?
Yeah, I took it when I ate lunch earlier. Kind of forgot about it.
You're high right now? Of all times?
Oh, so sorry. I guess you can chalk that one up to poor planning. Maybe I'll make better choices and only plan to do something chill, like hang out on a normal elevator to people watch next time.
Okay, sorry. You're right. I guess it's not really on you. There's no way to plan for something like this.
The elevator doors will close in 1 minute.
Am I tripping or did the elevator just start a countdown?
Oh God, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? What do we
Okay,
do?
judging from your reaction, that was real.
I don't know what to do. B, I'm scared. I don't want to be trapped in here forever.
Then, come on, dude. Beach trip.
But we don't even know where that is.
Ava, breathe. Listen, I know we just met, and you probably don't have the best impression of me, but I want you to come with me. I don't want you trapped in the elevator purgatory, and I don't want you trapped in the life purgatory you were in before either. Let's try something different. What's the worst that can happen?
We could.
That was rhetorical, don't answer that.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Fuck it.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, thank you, Melody. Thank you, Dorothy. I'm going to welcome Director Mead from the corner and playwright Justin to the stage. Well, Justin, to get us started, why don't you share sort of your idea genesis to completion?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, so, I mean, it started pretty loose. I was just like, what about an elevator where people get stuck in the elevator? And then, what if the elevator doors open and it was another elevator? Which clearly didn't happen.
I just want to listen for a minute. See what they got on
Yeah, I don't know. So as I was working on it, I was trying to figure out, okay, what characters are in the elevator? What's the reason? Like, why is this gonna matter at all? So I kind of pulled from myself for both characters a little bit. Like I tend to get neurotic and panicky about things, but I also like the whole idea of being trapped on an elevator. I love that. I want to be trapped on an elevator. Like if you're on an elevator with me, I'm praying for it to break down because we're gonna hang out. We're gonna get to know each other in this weird whatever situation. But with that, I'm like, okay, what is this character like? What's stressing him out about being on the elevator? And I do a lot of thinking about all the people in the world that are doing things that they hate. They cannot stand their lives. And they need some kind of push to change and try something different. So that's kind of where that came from. And I just had B be this character that could be kind of like pushing them towards that on top of this really ridiculous situation that was kind of forcing Ava's hand. So yeah, it just kind of went from there. And then I had to figure out what was going to happen with the elevator doors open, because the more I thought about it, I was like, I can't really figure out a good reason for it to just be more elevator. That doesn't feel impactful enough, because like I knew I wanted it to end with them getting off the elevator, and if they get off the elevator into another elevator, that's not anything. So I was talking to Mead here, and Mead was like, what if it opened up and it was like a field or something? And I'm like, that's good. I like that. And then I just kind of changed it to beach, because I'm like, beach is like so hard to be like, oh, this is maybe explain something that makes sense. Because if you're in an apartment building, the door's open, you see the ocean. Like that's not, the only thing you can take away from that is that's the ocean. I don't know why this is happening. So yeah, I don't know, there's that.
Yeah, any thoughts, questions, ruminations for Justin or me? Yeah.
I really like all the use of like including like the ocean and then a phone and then the job. I feel like there could have been a bit more like symbology to it. Like what does the ocean mean to these? Like obviously it's like a symbol of freedom, but like why the ocean?
Yeah.
Specifically, I also thought it was interesting she pulled her phone out and she talked about scrolling, and I was thinking about how like an elevator scrolls up and down. So I was just like intrigued as to how like all the themes play together, like how everything got introduced and wrapped up.
Yeah. No, I didn't really think about that. If I'm being completely honest with you. Like the ocean, freedom, wish I thought of that. That's cool. That's cool. It totally makes sense. I just like the imagery, quite frankly. I was like, that's cool. That's something that might be tantalizing to people. But yeah, freedom for sure.
You're smarter than the playwright.
Get in here. Come get.
Yeah, where were you today? Steve.
That actually got me thinking of if the Kennedy character, Ava, like what's enticing about the beach specifically to her? Like is there maybe a memory that ties with it of this time before she had a career and everything like that? Like is there something more drawing her than just like, it's a beach, yeah.
Honestly, I think with Ava, literally anything else is enticing. Like I think, like when I think about where Ava is at in her life, I think she is not. What she describes as her life, that is her life. She does not talk to people. She does not do anything like except at work. She's just working all the time. Sometimes off the clock, and then when she's not doing that, she's just killing time, like numbing her brain. And so like this idea of like literally anything being out there could be something. It's like okay, anything but this.
And then that's interesting because the other character, B, is so in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, she's ready to just be like, I'm gonna go sit on an elevator and draw. Like, could not be any more different in that, like, yeah, she's just B. And so it's like, it makes sense that she's the one who's like, no, let's just go to the beach. Come on. Because it takes that other perspective of like, there is more to life than being stuck on a box, scrolling through your phone. You can actually explore and live your life elsewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, I really like B as a character. Just like, one, the idea of pursuing your dreams, even if there's really no guarantee that there's going to be a payoff. Like, the idea of even trying is better than just doing something else. But then also with that, like embracing the idea of like, this is what I'm working on, but if something else comes my way and that seems like cool, I'll try that out too. Which is kind of, I try to live like that. I don't think I succeed all the time, but
There's a really amazing author, Rebecca Solnit, and she's got this life rule that says, never turn down an adventure unless you have a damn good reason. To be easily, as much as she tries to live in the moment, it doesn't mean that she doesn't have like rigidity in her life also. She's got to study for coursework, she's got to think about the future, she's got, for her also, there's going to be some stakes for her to pick up and jump off this elevator into this magical beach world.
Yeah.
So,
Hand? Is that hand or? Hand.
I wonder, thinking, the character Ava is so miserable in her life that anything else would be better than like that life. Could it how attached are you to the idea that it's a beach? Because I'm thinking about what if all of that same awe and confusion was there, but nothing was specified as to what it opens to.
That's an interesting idea.
That could get the point across that it doesn't they're so miserable. It doesn't even matter. It could be anything. Anyways, that was an interesting thought.
No, I like that. Because it also I think a change like that could make it be more like, it adds a degree of loose relatability to it. Like you can picture whatever you want to be out there. Maybe if you are the Ava in the situation, maybe you've gotten out of your routine for a minute and you've watched a show, and in this show there's this situation, and then you can picture whatever's behind that door that might be enticing to you. So I like that. I think, that's really cool.
After having worked on this, what is the next
20 cents. Yeah.
Get a new director.
You did great, Mead. You are a little too far. This guy's from Cincinnati now. But honestly, I haven't slowed down enough to like really process what else. I think I've gotten some good ideas here with like thinking about symbolism, thinking about the idea of not spelling certain things out and just letting it be a little bit more ambiguous. I think that's fun. If I were to give it a little bit more runtime, I did think about, this is just something I didn't include, but I was thinking about for B's character having a little bit more like problems going through, like maybe art school isn't going super great. Maybe there's some procrastination happening with being here and not being super worried about getting back to the things that are stressing them out. But I don't know for sure if that's like something I would eventually land on and like keep it in there, but it's what I thought. And yeah, with more time I could flesh that out. But with the time we had, I was like, I'm gonna table that. We're gonna make this mainly about Ava.
We got one more for elevator pitch. Yes.
I was just kind of thinking about the same concept of sometimes people are so stuck in their life and they're so miserable that they just need one other person to give them a new perspective. And I really felt like he did that. So with the kind of the symbolism of when they get off the elevator, it's just like as simple as like one step. Maybe it's just so simple you need that other person and not knowing what's ahead, but then you can do it to have a new perspective.
Yeah.
I thought that he really brought that.
Yeah, and I think I tried to write Ava with this like there's definitely like, despite the fact she's like, stop talking to me, I don't want to talk to you, like I think there is like some kind of inner pushing of like, it would be so nice to just talk to someone about this. And I think, you know, we see that kind of like unfold. But yeah, no, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Justin. Thank you, Mead. Next, we've got another one also directed by Mead. It's written by Lily Miller, and it's called He's Out.
Lights up on a confessional at some Catholic church. Ben enters and sneakily approaches the priest's side of the confessional. He is hiding something. He pulls open the curtain to enter and closes the curtain behind him. He pulls out a concealed vape. He puffs on it for a few seconds until he hears someone, Arthur, pull open the curtain on the other side of the confessional, sit down, and say,
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. Father Dennis? Dennis, you there? Hello? Dennis, what are you...
He's out.
He's what? I'm sorry?
I'm shrugging.
No, what do you mean he's out?
He went out. Maybe to get lunch or do priest things. I don't know, man. It's my first day here.
Of course. He stepped out. Who the hell are you then?
I'm Ben. I'm the new church receptionist.
And why were you hiding in here pretending to be Dennis?
Oh, okay, so I actually wasn't doing that at all, and I also can't tell you what I was doing in there if you wanted to know, which you never will.
Right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yay. Hey, buddy. There. God is here with you.
No, it's not that. This is the second time he skipped out on me. I really need to speak with him.
God?
No. Father Dennis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that Dennis, that rascal. Sorry about him. And me not being him. But I can take a message? Wait, maybe I can't because it's sins and whatever. I'm sorry. I didn't grow up in the church and I've never worked in one, so I'm not sure. My last job was at a Red Wolf Inn. Anyways, your church is so nice. I'm gonna go look around. You feel free to stay here and pray. Yeah, goodbye.
Ben, if you don't mind, may I ask your opinion?
Yes, I do love my opinions.
Would you like to hear my situation and tell me what you think?
Yes, please. The reading material at the desk is super dry and also mostly obituaries. You guys are dropping like flies. It's so sad and boring. What's the tea?
Okay. So, the first thing you need to know is that I'm gay.
Me too!
But I have a wife named Alicia.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not a good situation. We've been married for almost a decade now. She doesn't know that I'm gay.
Oh, that's not good at all.
I'm also cheating on her.
Fuck! Dude, what? Fuck! With who?
With Dennis.
Dennis? As in Father Dennis.
Father Dennis.
Fuck! Dude!
I'm not sure why I feel comfortable telling you all this. I know we just met, but I just can't deal with this myself.
Oh my god.
So what would you do, Ben, in my situation?
Shit, dude. I really did not expect you to say any of what you just said. Well, okay. Can I ask questions? I got questions. First of all, how do you end up with a wife? A female wife with a vagina. A female wife that is not gay. Wait, is she gay? Does she have a vagina?
My wife has a vagina. No, she's not gay. And we married because our marriage was the safest way for me to stay in this congregation without questions being asked of me, of Dennis.
How long has this been going on for? The affair?
Dennis and I? It started during the couples counseling. I had confided in Dennis that the feelings I had for him were very different than the ones I had for my soon-to-be wife. Alicia never found out.
Do you love him?
Dennis?
Yeah, he's bald.
I do love Dennis. Very much.
What about you and Alicia?
Alicia's always kept herself busy and always away from the home with her own affairs. I'm not even sure what she does with her days anymore.
Aw, it's like you're divorced already.
Ha.
But your Dennis is a priest.
He is.
I imagine deciding what to do would be easier if he weren't a priest.
Yeah. If he didn't step right out before I came in.
How rude!
Yes, it was.
Do you think that Father Dennis would come out to be with you?
No, I think he wouldn't for the same reason he's not here right now. And why he wasn't here last week.
Ouch. Can I ask questions that aren't exactly related to your situation? Is this church homophobic?
Yes.
Like, very homophobic?
Yes.
Rats. I have another one. When a priest comes out to a homophobic church, does the congregation turn gay?
No.
Even though I know Father Dennis is gay now, can I still keep my job?
No one knows that you know, and even if they did, I don't think this would affect receptions globally or locally.
Could Father Dennis still be bisexual?
What?
Right. Okay. Then, yeah. Okay. I have got my question, or my opinion, so all things considered, I will keep it short, because I think my lunch break is coming up. And none of this is my job.
Okay, I'm ready.
You have got to tell your wife, my guy. It's never too late for love, even if you are really old.
I'm 36.
Yikes. Better hurry and tell her. Father Dennis will be back soon because I think he lives here.
He does not.
All I know is Jimmy Johns is calling my name, and I can't leave him hanging.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I have been cheating on my husband, Arthur, for some years now, with a woman.
Very cool. Thank you, Sophia, Dean, and Chris. I'm going to welcome Mead back up and Lily to the stage as it were. Yeah, well, Lily, do you want to get us rolling? Just sort of talking about what your thoughts were at the beginning of the day and how it turned into what we just saw.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of thoughts. I was like, had the confessional idea. I was driving to get coffee this week, and I was just kind of like, yeah, that sounds like a good one scene, one setting scene, and I don't have to like make up when they move necessarily. It's scripted in confessions. So, and I grew up in Catholic church, so I was like, I know the arena, so I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, any thoughts for Lily or Mead? Yes, Elaine.
Do you think that the revelation of
Yeah, not much in common. Or a lot in common.
So it's a happily ever after. Yes.
Good. I saw a hand go up back here. Yeah, JD.
Do you think like a reveal at the end would make it more clear that those two were in the relationship? Because I feel like I might have lost that somewhere along the way. Like I had the luxury of being with you all day and knowing that that was the plan, but like maybe I just missed it watching it. But
That was something that we attempted to make clear.
yeah.
But we also didn't want it to be like, hey! That's his wife! Like, we wanted it to have some artistic subtlety to it. So we attempted a middle ground where it's like, okay, the audience is gonna get, like one note I had was, can she say the name of the husband? And then if people are paying enough attention, they'll know his name is Arthur. And that was about as like, hey, look at that, as we wanted to get. If that still didn't come quite through, that is really good information for us to have.
I could definitely see them like
You
pulling
know,
the
it just
curtain
occurred
a
to
little,
me,
like,
what might have helped without giving it away too much would be one stage direction that says his name right before. Because the stage direction that says his name is so much earlier.
Yes.
You can also maybe have Ben. Ben say, all right, we'll see you later, Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's really smart.
I saw this hand in the middle here.
Well, I was about to say the same thing, because when she came on, I'm like, that's going to be the wife. And when she stepped in, my husband Arthur, and I was like, that's probably his name, right? Yeah, I'm like, thanks, Ben. Good luck, Arthur. Yeah.
I see Reba over here.
Yeah, that was a topic in the recent Oscars, if any partake in the Academy Awards. Conan had a moment saying that the United States filmmakers have a habit recently of reiterating
Oh, the Casablanca bit?
yeah, the plot of the story and reiterating it probably 2 to 3 times in the story when a true film maybe, obviously, we'll say it once, but maybe twice. And the United States has a habit in the past decade, 2 decades, of doing it twice, which is probably inappropriate to the grand scheme of the art of filmmaking and script writing. And this may be a habit of that.
So yes, absolutely. That bit though did make me think of Shakespeare, because one of the reasons Shakespeare's plays are so long is because he repeats himself on purpose, because people would come and go from the theater.
Yeah.
Which, what I'm saying has nothing to do with anything now.
Those scripts being how long?
Yes.
And how long the current scripts are, which vary from 80 minutes to now 120
3.5,
minutes.
yeah.
And so it's like, do you want an hour and 20, or
Of
do you want
repetition,
2 hours?
yeah.
And once you breach 2 hours, you need probably half an hour more of reiteration. This is the plot of the movie. Once you meet 120 minutes, it's like, what else are you trying to say?
Yeah, and then with it
Want me
being
to
a,
understand?
and then with it being a 10-minute play, we didn't want Arthur. Like, we didn't want to go too far.
Right.
You've had your hand up for a while.
Yeah, I guess I'll shift the conversation to Ben, the Ben character, who I found the most enigmatic and fascinating, because he states that he's openly queer and that he wasn't raised in the church, so he's ignorant and he's providing this new viewpoint. I wonder if there were any conversations had that could be had in the future of like giving more given circumstances to that character, of like, yeah, I'm queer, but maybe like he was raised Muslim or Hindu or not a Christian or like still from a religious background, so he had his own battles of overcoming that. That could be maybe in the subtext further, or if not, maybe keep him completely agnostic and like at least give him a little bit more of a background, maybe not in the text, but maybe in like directing a little bit further. Maybe that's something that could be considered in the future.
Yeah, definitely I could see that. for a fully fleshed play.
Yeah,
I would
fully
like to
fleshed.
have like a very
Yeah.
informed like background for
Yeah.
the character. Yeah.
Because at one point when we were working on it, I was like, it doesn't seem that Ben knows what a Catholic is.
Yeah.
Because like a lot, like when he asked, like, so is the priest bisexual? Because it's like that doesn't matter.
And you get the agnostic background where he truly doesn't know, or like he could use that as a mask of like, yeah, I also have religious trauma, right? Or I have
Right.
trauma.
Yeah.
So perhaps there could be two different avenues going.
Yeah, I see Zoe in the back.
This might just be something fun to play with, but I was really wanting to see like what the ending would be like if it was Ben that stayed and not Arthur. Like,
Oh, that's fun. That's really funny.
The moment it ended, I was just picturing like one more like, fuck.
Where are they coming from?
I can see him having the best intentions, but simultaneously ruining both their lives.
I will say with that, I wasn't quite clear why Arthur went in and got on the other side.
So I actually, especially as the director, had that thought too. Literally when we were just watching it, and I was watching Dean do exactly what I told him to do, and be like, why did I tell him to do that? Other than just like it's kind of what needed to happen.
Yeah.
And so then I got in my actor brain about it. And my answer, and Dean, feel free to jump in here, is that he wanted to see things from his lover's perspective.
That makes sense.
That he wanted to be like, all right, well, I'm here in this empty confessional. Let's see what Father Dennis is seeing. Let's put myself into Daddy's mind. And go from there. Which maybe that's what Dean was exploring as well.
Yeah, I thought about it less, but so Mead had directed me to look as if I'm looking up at the Jesus statue at the end of and that's what makes me decide to stop leaving and turn into the nearest stall. But I love the idea that like I'm trying to see from Dennis's point, and also just like be in his space where he spends all his time. But for me, it's mainly just like I'm on my way out. I look at this Jesus sculpture and I'm like, no, actually, I'm not leaving right now.
I think we got time for one more comment about this one. I've been seeing. Oh, rock, paper, scissors?
No, you make really good points. I was going to say, actually, I was thinking my interpretation of the end was that the only reason he's willing to confess his situation was because he has this totally clueless dude in the other booth who, probably won't even remember the details of it. And I thought the reason he had him go into the other booth at the end and hear his wife's confession, because now he really is in a situation where if he's going to say something, he has to. And the look on his face where he's like, sees the gravity of the situation and realizes it's kind of like, it's not goofy anymore. It's not about Jimmy Johns. It's like, the clock really is ticking.
I really like that thought. Yeah, because I put the least thought into it. Like, I was just like, he's tired. He needs to sit down again. No, I really like that.
I also love hearing stuff like that from playwrights, because almost whenever I work with a playwright and there's audience response or actor response or whatever, so often the playwright is just like, well, I just needed to change the scene. And then the actors are like, well. Often the playwrights are just like, and I made a play.
After all, as artists, isn't it up to us to give it to other people for their interpretation?
Yeah.
Well, also as you're writing, like that inspiration comes out. You don't necessarily see all of the meaning. You're getting all this stuff out of you. And it's coming in this flow, ideally. So it's not a methodical thing where you're able to attribute like all of the motivations for why you're doing it. That's why you practice and do it all the time, because it comes out and you can trust that process and trust where that source is coming from. And then later you're like, oh shit, I see what I'm writing there. But you've got an audience in front of you, so it's hard.
I think that's what we've got time for He's Out. Thank you, Lily, and thank you, Mead. tonight. We've got another piece directed by KC. This one was written by Sydney Willis back there.
I can't wait. I love these actors. I'll tell you what.
It's always a surprise for me, even if I see the kid coming. Like, the music, it's so jarring, so loud.
For sure.
I'm like, what if it happens, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, the day has finally come. Like, what then? Where would we go?
Right.
I've been thinking about death a lot. I mean, why shouldn't I be thinking about it? But I don't know.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, am I bothering you?
Maybe a little.
Okay, well, so sorry for trying to talk to the only other friend that hasn't been ripped away from us.
That hasn't escaped.
Oh, not this again. I'm not in the mood for this.
You never are.
What is that supposed to
You know. Sorry. Really.
Fine.
It's just every time it moves.
I get it.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, I know.
None of these giants ever.
Okay. How long has it been now? Since, do you think?
Since we got trapped in here?
Since we started living here? Yeah.
Long enough.
Well, okay, relax.
Stuck in this dry, suffocating ass box.
With a dear and beloved friend.
And no one else.
When was the last time there was someone in here with us?
I don't know. It's been too long.
Was it Frankie? Remember Frankie?
Who?
Frankie. The frog? The one with the little vest number and the glasses?
Oh. The one who was always trying to see if he could jump high enough to land in the chute?
Yeah.
Thought he was a real frog? Stupid.
Respect the dead, please.
I don't think he was the last one, though.
Maybe not. Still can't believe how he died.
Oh my god, please stop acting like they died.
Who would have thought he picked him up by the vest? Crazy.
He didn't die.
Might as well have.
Whatever, I can't do this right now.
I mourn everyone we lose.
Dude.
I dread the day it happens to me.
I've never looked more forward to anything in my life. In fact, anytime that thing comes down and doesn't pick me up and get me out of this damn box.
Well, maybe today will be your lucky day. Maybe you'll finally get what you want. There's a lot of kids out there today.
Hopefully.
What do you think happens when we die?
Honey.
Okay, like, I mean, what do you think is out there? What is it you want to see?
I think there's a lot out there. I think there's things that we will never comprehend until we see it and experience it. I can't help but imagine there's a massive, vibrant world out there. When I look out at all these giants running around, I sit and I wonder where they came from. Have you noticed that we don't see all the same people every day? There are always new faces. The only way there can be that many different faces is if there is enough space outside of here for all of them to live and exist and thrive, right? And what about us and those like us? Are we the only ones in the entire world and the giants just have to be lucky enough to grab us? Or do we exist out there in that big world? If that's the case, if there are more of us, why is it just the two of us left that have to be stuck in here? Why was I so unlucky to find myself caged in like this? Why don't I get to experience what they experienced? What did I do to deserve this?
Do you remember that day you almost died?
Boy, do I.
I really thought that was it, that day, you know. I'm sure you did too, but watching it pick you up and seeing you move through the air.
That was the closest I've ever gotten.
When it picked you up, it felt like the music was getting louder, louder than it ever before. And like the closer you got to the chute, it was deafening, and it was so scary to see you almost gone for good.
I wish I was.
Can you please stop saying stuff like that?
Honey, I'm not going to lie to you and say that I don't wish every second I had successfully gotten out of here.
You always talk like this. Always act like you're stuck.
Every single moment I am in here, I feel like I am suffocating.
And you act like we're trapped.
And I feel so pointless. Like, what am I even doing in here?
And it's as if all you care about is something you don't even know exists.
What is the point of anything if I spend day in and day out?
You'll never know what would happen if you leave.
Doing absolutely nothing and saying nothing and no
if
one.
You leave,
and if I leave,
I
will be finally
and
free.
utterly alone.
What did you say?
Is it me?
That's not what you said.
Okay, fine. Okay, look. Every time you talk about wanting to leave, wanting to go see what's out there, I can't help but wonder why you are so excited at the prospect of getting away from me. Let me finish, okay? I can't. It's hard for me to get going again once I stop, okay? I know, or try to know, that it isn't personal, that you just want to just get away from me. It's bigger than me, but I don't know, and like, this place is our home to me. I know it feels like a prison to you, but I love it here. I cherish being able to be here. We live here for so long, seen so much, loved so many because we were put here, because we were dealt this hand or whatever. Nothing that happens outside of here, no matter how cool and big and beautiful it could be, will ever mean more to me than what we've had here. And it breaks my heart that you want to throw it all away so badly. Did we mean so little to you? Did I mean so little?
Honey.
And what if there isn't anything out there? What if you're wrong? What if it's just nothing and one of us gets picked up and we're just nothing forever?
It can't.
And what if you do get picked up again? And what if this time you make it out like you've always wanted and I'm stuck here alone for however long it takes until it gets me, and I have no choice but to sit and wait and find out at a time I'll never be ready for, and I'll have no one to say goodbye to because everyone I have ever loved is already long, long gone. What do you do when there's no one left?
Ever the optimist, huh?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. I was trying to make a joke.
Here's a joke for you. Me thinking you ever cared about our friendship and our time together at all. Wouldn't that be such a funny, stupid joke?
Honey, I do care.
Then why do you want to leave me so bad?
I care about you, but honey, it is absolutely impossible to even breathe in here. When every day all I hear about is dying and being alone, and it makes me just feel so guilty.
I'm just trying to bring you back to reality and remind you that you are not alone in here and that you very well may be out there.
So what? So what if I end up alone out there? Would you rather spend the rest of your life sitting here, wondering about what could be out there and never seeing it?
It is safe in here, Socks. If it makes sense in here.
It makes sense in here? Nothing makes any sense in here. There is a giant fucking claw that comes down and decides our entire fate. And all I want is to be able to decide my own. But I literally can't do that with you constantly acting like the thought of me wanting to do my own thing will kill you.
I just want you to be safe. And I want you to be with someone who cares about you.
I don't think we ever get to have a choice in the matter.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to upset you or hurt you.
I know.
It's just
scary.
Yeah. Terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Please.
Honey, I'd be lying if I said I didn't understand where you're coming from. Watching everyone leave, I was jealous, of course. I want to know what's out there more than anything. But I've definitely felt like fear and doubt at the back of my mind, poking and prodding every time that thing starts moving. Like, what if it does pick me up? What happens if I was always wrong and there was never a massive world out there like I dreamt of? What if I have to do it alone? What if you weren't there?
I don't think we can know until we're there.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Sorry, is it okay if I say something?
Yeah, please.
I think it's easier to believe that staying here is the safest option, is the safer option than to accept that out there the people I love are happier, far, far away from me.
If they are happier, I don't think that's because you aren't there.
You may be right, but how do I convince myself of that, you know?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know, like, the answer to that, but I understand.
I wish we knew the answer.
Yeah, same.
What do you think about me? You finally get picked up and there's a whole world out there?
Every single day. Would you?
Every single day.
I hope you know how much you mean to me. How much all of this time has meant to me. No matter what happens, please never forget that, okay? I love you, honey.
I love you too, Socks. You're my best friend.
You're mine. And not just because we're the only two left.
Yay!
Wow, thank you, Melody, Dorothy, and Chris. We got Casey, we got Sydney talking about claw your heart out. Sydney, do you want to talk about the beginning of the day to now?
Yeah. Hey. Hi guys. I'm Sydney and I wrote that just now. And we got here at like 9 a.m. and I was like, immediately like the only thing I think I said out loud to Fig, I was like, I don't think I can leave here today without writing about 2 stuffed animals in a claw machine. like, so where can I go from there? You know, and I was like also recently thinking a lot about death and a lot about losing people and a lot about like, what's that? Go what? Huh? And and I was like, how can I feel like that's a really great way to kind of portray that was through stuffed animals, through something that shouldn't be sentient but now is. And I really just kind of wanted to play with that and kind of look into that. And at the start of the day, all I had was like, okay, stuffed animals and claw machine. Yeah, cool. And I really, I think a lot of my day was trying to figure out, like, okay, is one of them like super into the idea of getting out, like you saw, and is one of them super into the idea of staying? Or are like, is there kind of mixed feelings? Are they both kind of mixed on it? And I really wanted that like stark contrast of like, yeah, one of them really is like, I gotta get out of here. There's more out there in the world for me, and I want to see it. And it keeps coming into my grasp. It is so close, and I just can't get out. And there is their best friend, the only one left in the machine. There's only 2 left, and they're best friends. They've been there for who knows how long in that mall. And one of them really just wants the safety and stability and security of the other one still being there. And I really wanted to kind of humanize them by being like, what's that like when you have someone you care so much about and you want the best for them no matter what, but you also feel like you need them to be your best self too. What's that like to lose them? Because life doesn't give you the choice to decide if you get to keep them or not. And so that's kind of what I was playing with today. And Casey had the really cool idea of making the claw a character that was not even a thing that I had going on. And I think it rocked. Thank you, Chris, for that. That was
To brag on Chris, can we just talk about Chris's arm strength for a minute? For 10 whole minutes, no questions asked.
As soon as we got up there, I was like, ooh, that's gonna suck.
That was huge.
Justin, I know how you feel now.
But yeah, I feel like, yeah, that's what I have to say.
Awesome. Yes, Dean.
I think that there could be an opportunity for like some really cool like dichotomy between the 2 of them, because there's the one who's like really afraid to be alone, and then the other one just seems like hopeful. But I think if that one was like excited about the claw and like like more like enthusiastic about being picked, then like the ending, there could even be like more pause to like the realization setting in that like, oh, I've been looking forward to being taken the whole time, but it was actually them, and now I'm going to be as depressed as they were afraid of being. I thought that was really interesting. And then my little other thought was like the reveal of the claw. I was really expecting the whole room to burst out laughing. I was like holding my laughter. I thought it was so fun. And I think you could play with that moment if like instead of just coming, like it could be a little more like
Thank you. Yeah, what's up in the middle here?
2 kind of points. First, I really like that, the building of the economy, because for a little bit it was kind of 2 Debbie Downers. So I think the one wanting to be free is hope and excitement of kind of the elevator play of like, well, there's this whole thing out there that we could be experiencing, but we're stuck here and building on that freedom from the suffocation. And then the other one, I think this place should be on its feet, because it does feel a little bit like 2 people in a car talking right now. And when it started, you immediately figured out like, these are 2 stuffed animals in a claw machine. This is great. Like, I really like that. And then the absurdity of that, and then like these 2 stuffed animals having this very movement-based like melodrama. And if you wanted to push even further, you could take on that physicality of them having like their arms out or something like that. And it's this absurdity of like, I've been thinking about death a lot lately. And so that would build, and so when you have the claw too, there could be more kind of movement, you could physicalize that panic a bit more, that excitement. So I think it would give visually, because it is such a cool idea. These two trapped in it, and so it doesn't become like two people in a car.
Yeah, I think that was one thing while I was writing it where I was like, okay, first off, like, cool, we're in the claw machine, but what action can happen in there? Because the only other thing in there is the claw. And so I think that would be really cool too, to see like kind of how we could make a move in the space. Like, do they move like stuffed animals? Like what kind of stuffed animals? I think there's a lot there too of like what you could do with that, and like also them being up on their feet and like kind of doing that would have like a really cool like, okay, you can definitely show their personalities and the kind of stuffed animal situation they have going on too, and kind of enhance that. So thank you.
Yeah, that was something I thought about a lot too, because I knew I wanted Chris because Chris is just so tall. And so a while ago I directed Eurydice and I put Chris on 6 foot tall stilts. And so all I could think about was like, if I had full production of this, they definitely would have been on their feet, but Chris would have been just absolutely so tall, chasing them around the set, trying to grab them. Like, I was just thinking about that. Because something about the idea of Honey and Mel so tall, and something about like punching over the corner, being very scared, is very visually delicious to me. Yeah.
I see you in the second row here.
Yeah, I had the idea of, this might be beyond the scope of this short play, but the idea of wondering what these giants, these beings that they see are up to. You know, why are they coming up to this machine? What is the point of them coming, trying to grab them? And then maybe this theme of being unwanted. Like you mentioned, like why was everyone happy to get away from me? That kind of idea, like you're gonna be better off without me. So maybe this idea of, these children, maybe the idea, we don't know what their motive is, but they want us for a reason. So what happens after that? Like, why are we the last two here? Kind of idea. Why are we unwanted by these?
I love that you said that, because that's what I was kind of thinking about that the whole time and trying to figure out like how I could jam pack that into 10 minutes. And I tend to have this thing where I like have too many ideas for how I want it to go, and I have a hard time like deciding like, okay, you gotta make it compact, Diva. And so I feel like that's something that I was thinking about a lot. So I'm really glad you said that. Thank you.
What was it that we kept saying? I was like, well, what if we just put one more quarter in and they both have a happy ending? It was like,
I just put another quarter in. Play it again.
We got time for one more here in the, we'll go you in the front.
Were you talking about like Frank the Frog? I was hoping there was gonna be more characters that were named, both because I think that would help like establish that they've been there for so long, because they've like come and seen so many people, and that's part of like why they feel so left behind, because it's like, I mean, you can make it a joke, it's like they say like 20 different names, and you're like, wow. But also because I wanted to hear more cute descriptions.
And I thought about that too, and I wish I had done it too. Like while I was listening to it, I was like, okay, we got Frankie, that's the only one. And I was like, that makes me sad. There were more in there. And I think you're right. I think having like more descriptions, more like fun, like, oh, let's describe some stuffed animals too. Like that's just fun to do, I think. So I agree. Thank you.
I was curious, what animals did you all end up picking? I don't think we ever fully decided.
Yeah.
Let's put you on the spot.
So creative, sock monkey.
Oh, duh. What about you, Mom?
I couldn't decide, to be completely honest. I was thinking some kind of like, also a classic like a Raggedy Ann or something. I don't know.
Well, I thought you were a bear because honey.
Yeah. I also thought.
I think the names did a good job of setting what I pictured, you know, like socks, okay, sock monkey, honey, hair.
It was a bear the whole time, guys. It's always a bear.
Well, very, very cool. Thank you, Casey and Sydney. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll be around for a little bit, sort of packing up and whatnot. So if you have any questions for me or any of the creatives, feel free to approach. And if you're feeling able and willing, all of our information for donations and such is on that back table over there. And feel free to take a seltzer for your troubles. So thank you guys again. Have a really